This week, we are prying into The Secret Lives of Murderers' Wives by Elizabeth Arnott. I'm Jamie Livingston.
And I'm Sarah Lyles, and we are so approachable. Okay, so this was my pick.
It is your pick.
Yes.
Where did this one come from? Why are we doing it?
Honestly, I saw it. It was orange. Literally, I was drawn to it, and I liked kind of the whole old-timey pictures of the women, and I'm like, murderers' wives. All right, let's check into it. So
right, it looks 60s-ish.
Yes.
I don't know, that's the hair vibes I'm getting.
Yeah.
And yeah, murderers' wives. I'm curious as to where this one is going. It was a Good Morning America book club pick.
Right.
I don't think I know how recently. Although this is a brand new book.
Yeah, just came out this year.
So it had to be a recent GMA pick.
Right. I mean, I saw this at, in the library you go, there's, the new books, and I often,
Your lucky day.
Yeah, I always, scope those because I'm always looking for new books. And I'm like, Murderers' Wives. And so from the other side,
right,
that to me was like, all right, I'm kind of curious. What's that like?
Okay, so from the back of the book, here's what we're dealing with. A remarkable trio whose lives have been cracked wide open by their husband's crimes unite to catch a serial killer in this dazzlingly captivating novel.
Beverly, Elise, and Margot are not your average housewives. They are all wives of convicted killers. During their sun-drenched summer of 1966, the three women form an unlikely friendship after the discoveries of their husbands' brutal crimes. With their exes, some of California's most infamous murderers, dead or behind bars, they are attempting to forge a new future for themselves.
Headstrong Beverly tries compulsively to maintain control of everything around her, all while raising two children. Bookish Elsie fights to make a name for herself in the newsroom, working among men who sneer at her career goals. Glamorous Margot prefers partying to homemaking and devotes all her energy to upholding the appearance that everything is fine. Anything to quell the shame from her husband's deceit.
They know people look at them and think only one, how could they not have known what their husbands were doing? How much are they to blame? And yet, when a string of local killings hits the news, the three women, underestimated, overlooked, shrewd, decide to get to work. After all, who better to catch a killer than those who have shared their lives and homes with one?
At once a riveting portrayal of shattered trust and a story of gripping suspense, The Secret Lives of Murderers' Wives is a testament to the intricacies of women's lives and how the deep bonds of female friendship can empower, uplift, and lead us to endure.
See, it sounds good.
This does sound fun. And I like the fact that they're going to use kind of their inside knowledge to try to solve this.
Yeah, because I imagine, it's saying, other people are looking at them oh, are you guilty? Are you a part of this?
Did you help him? How did you not notice?
I mean, yeah.
Have you ever considered that?
I mean, there's a whole lot
in that. Is my
husband
husband a serial killer?
I don't know.
Would I recognize the signs?
I obviously. I mean, maybe.
I don't know. I think they're telling us that they didn't recognize the signs with their husbands, but now they know what they should have been looking for.
Yeah, I actually am excited to read into this because it's a different perspective and a different point of view than I've ever read. So
yeah. All right. So what do we know about Elizabeth Arnott?
All right. She is an award-winning writer and the journalist and has written critically acclaimed historical fiction as Lizzie Pook. Her work covering everything from true crime to Arctic exploration has featured in publications including the Sunday Times, National Geographic, the New York Times Book Review, and The Guardian. She lives with her husband and their youngest daughter in London, where she spends far too much time drinking iced coffee and watching serial killer shows.
Yes. All right, Elizabeth. Okay, so I did want to touch on Lizzie Pook because that is another name that she has written under, apparently for her historical fiction. And this just reiterates that she is an award-winning journalist and a travel writer. And so some of her assignments have taken her to some of the most remote places of the planet, from the uninhabited east coast of Greenland in search of roaming polar bears
Wow.
to the foothills of the Himalayas to track endangered snow leopards. She was inspired to write Moonlight and the Pearler's Daughter, her debut novel, after spending time in northwestern Australia, reaching the dangerous and fascinating pearl diving. Researching the dangerous and fascinating pearl diving industry.
Interesting. So different.
Yeah. I mean, I love that it's the journalist background.
Mm-hmm.
That gets me going. Mm-hmm. But the fact that she's been able to get assignments across the world.
Yeah.
This background reminds me of Wild Dark Shore.
Oh, yeah.
Because that author, Charlotte McConaughey, was really into ecology and saving the environment.
Yep.
And that one was all about Antarctica.
Right.
And kind of, I feel like she was Australia.
Yeah,
Is that where
so.
she kind of came from, or her character came from? Mm-hmm. But her other books were Scotland and somewhere else. So this gives me a lot of those vibes for, I guess, her historical fiction.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I guess this is kind of historical fiction, too, because it's taking place in the 60s.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I always think of historical fiction as, like, ladies with bonnets. Like, old-timey. But historical fiction just means not present day.
Really. And really, you think about this. This is like 60 years ago.
Oh, my gosh. You're so old.
But, I mean, really, you think about it. It's really not, like, it's not far away, but it was. It happened in the past. And so sometimes we try to go, like, 1700s to think about it being historical fiction, but it doesn't have to be that.
No, our kids would remind us, is that from the 1900s?
Oh, yes. I always tell them I am a product of the 1900s.
Yes. Okay, so this, we said it is a pretty new book. Mm-hmm. It has a 3.56 rating. Very small amount of ratings so far. There's really only 12,000 ratings on Goodreads, so that's a really small number. When we think about a lot of our books that have been around for a year or so, they're like 100,000, 500,000.
Yes.
This is just minuscule. But the majority, 40%, are 4 stars.
Yeah.
So it's almost up to that 4-star rating.
Right. And to me, like, looking to 3 and 4 stars, like, has to be enjoyable.
Right.
Has to have a good understanding. I always say, like, to have a 5-star, if you know me, if you've followed us for a while, you know that I don't give 5 stars lightly. So there really are not many 5-star books out there.
You got to earn those stars. All right. I want to start with our bad reviews then. Okay. I only went as low as 3 stars. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I just feel like the 3 stars tell me like it is. Mm-hmm. Susan Z says, I had pretty high expectations for this one and was disappointed. I loved the premise, but I feel more could have been done to develop the characters. Perhaps having only 2 leads would have helped. I did like the twist at the end, but felt it all came together too fast. The story seemed too slow and then too fast.
Interesting. I mean, we've had that before in other books we've read, to where it was like slow and then rushed, and so
everything comes together.
Yeah. So I get that.
What about you?
So I have a 2-star from Vicky. It says, the 2 things that to take from this book is that men are commonly untrustworthy and being a woman is difficult. We've said this before. Mm-hmm. This is the message behind this book. I feel like the book was focusing more on the message instead of the actual suspense and thrilling part of the book. This felt like the women were more on just talking about crime and drama, but also not really. Like, I felt like the whole crime aspect was kind of pushed aside, even though it was the main focus of the book. I feel like the author should have just stuck with one topic instead of 2 topics. Like, this essentially followed the 3 women's lives with a side of mystery, when the book should have just focused more on the mystery. The pacing itself was quite slow, as well as we spend 30% of the book about the lives and 60% about the mystery. And so she just said, I honestly feel like this mystery didn't even fully start with the 60% mark. Vicky, you're not making me excited.
No, and that review just dragged on and on and on.
And like. She liked saying the word like.
But not when it comes to the book. She did not like it.
Right. Sorry, Vicky, I'm not trying to make fun of you. But like I said.
All right, so let's I want to hear your good review.
Okay, so Lois gave it 5 stars. If I could give this book 100 stars, I would.
Woo.
I don't read much crime fiction as it is not my genre, but this one by Elizabeth Arnott absolutely blew me away. The story itself, 3 ex-wives of serial killers come together to try and crack a spat of murders in their Californian neighborhood, gripping me from the first page. But it was the characters, Beverly, Margot, and Elise, who really sealed it for me. So well drawn, so well researched, utterly brilliant and believable. I'm in awe of Arnott's ability to take the reader back to the 1960s and make it so now, so relevant to our world today. Brilliant stuff.
All right. See, now that is a good review.
Yes. What about you?
I have Laws with 5 stars, and this person says Desperate Housewives meets Agatha Christie, but with the vibe of Malibu Rising. I could not put this book down. These 3 women were so fierce, strong, and had such a beautiful friendship that I missed them whenever I had to stop reading.
Oh, did you ever watch Desperate Housewives?
I think I watched some of it way back in the day, like my stepmom had it on.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a nighttime soap opera.
Yes, it was.
Yes. But I love the Agatha Christie vibes. Like, let's go.
Yeah,
We like our little mysteries and...
But I think what I like about that is Laws obviously has read before, has obviously, watched different genres of things. And so she's kind of pulling together the drama and the suspense and saying, this is kind of really fun. Get on the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm interested. I'm down for the ride.
Yeah, and I actually, when I read the intro of this, I thought, of course, there's going to be someone who's in the news. Jamie's going to love this.
Yeah, I'm here for it. She's in a newsroom. It sounds like a newspaper.
Yeah.
But...
I know. You like all the
We're
journalism.
journalists at heart. It's all good. She's digging for the truth. She's probably going to be, like, bullied and battered if she's in a newsroom in the 60s.
Oh,
so, like,
that's a good
I'm
point.
going to guess that it's not an enjoyable experience for her. But
Oh, I'm actually curious because I don't know much about that aspect. But, again, in the 60s, women have to fight for their position.
Right. And I feel like, even... It's just like the guys' club.
Yeah.
You're not let in. I'm picturing like a very smoky newsroom and like, what do you want, babe? Like, go get me another coffee. That's what I'm picturing.
They're just always the front of the,
right.
the office
She might
clerk.
be doing the receptionist stuff
Sure,
or something.
maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I hope she's investigating.
Yeah, I'm curious.
We'll see.
All right, so we always have a fun little question, a little like get to know you question. So what's your take on serial killers?
Oh, just, serial killers in general. Love the...
I mean, did you ever get invested in them? Did you ever watch any of the shows?
Oh,
any
yes.
big ones that like stood out to you?
Well, I have to do a shout out to Lottie from Too Old for This. If you haven't read that book that we covered, I highly recommend you go back and listen to our TLDR episode to see if you want to read it, because that one is about an old lady who's a retired serial killer. And I loved that book. Loved it. Just because she was completely unhinged. But the reason why I love that is because, I love all the documentaries and just going in and finding out what these people did, how they did it. It might be because I'm like paranoid and I don't want to get caught, or I don't want to get caught.
Oh, really? You have something to say?
I don't want to fall prey or be a victim.
Yes.
And so if you
Yes,
know
yes.
how they're doing stuff, you can avoid that. But yeah, I've watched a lot of true crime and listened to a lot of true crime podcasts, and I'm, as an investigator, like I've come across a lot of like scary cases. I mean, I don't know that I've covered any serial killers necessarily, but I mean, there's a lot of bad things that I have covered. And when you are trying to like get reaction from family members and get comment from police and kind of pulling out the story, because when we talk about a serial killer, I think we often are glamorizing the criminal.
Sure.
And not realizing like they had 19 victims. That's 19 families. That's 19 significant others or parents of children. Like, there's so many people that are left in the wake of those.
Yes.
And I think that is terrifying. And I think that a lot of the documentaries do a good job of showing the victims' side of them.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I love. It's just really good storytelling to a story that you don't want to be true.
Yeah.
And those are hard to watch.
Yeah.
But what about you?
I love them. Remember, we've talked before that, like, deep inside, I'm, like, always wanting to know what's going on in the brain of even people who write books that are, like, murderous serial killers, because I'm always thinking, what is the psyche? Like, what is going on that's making you envision these things, do these things? Like, is there a, like, I think of someone like Ted Bundy, who had, like, a really, like, well-to-do life, and then he hid all of these things behind closed doors, and you never would have caught on to all of this. And I mean, there's still a lot of, like, questions up with him, but, like, thinking, what is going on? What is the rush? What is the excitement of such a horrific, horrible thing you're doing? Why is that exciting? And it just goes to show how messed up people in this world are. And I don't know why that is entertaining to me.
Yeah.
But it is. And you're right. They've kind of, like, taken the serial killer and they've, like, spotlighted them, but yet forget sometimes that there's a lot of victims and there's a whole lot of families and loss in that. I couldn't imagine being, like, the family watching that.
Right.
Being like, oh, you're just throwing him up, giving his, like he's famous. How about us that are left back here with, like, lost our daughter or our sister or our wife?
Well, and I know just from the news aspect of that, there's been a really big pivot in coverage of big events where, like, school shootings, we don't say the shooter's name. Like, we're not giving them the notoriety that they might be seeking. And so it might be something where, like, in the original story, the person who did it or allegedly did it, like, we would say their name, like, police arrested this person.
Right.
But every other reference would just be, like, pronouns or, like, this person did this, or the 19-year-old did this, or, like, coming up with different ways so that you're not actually repeating the name over and over and over and over again, creating that notoriety.
Right.
And so I think that we had a lot of serial killers, kind of, I would say, like, 50s to 90s is where we have, like, the names that you recognize. I mean, I think you were listing off a couple of them. You've got your Bundy and Dahmer. Like, there's big names.
Right.
But why do we know those? Because they blew up and they were such big news stories.
Right.
And if we would have just shut that down.
Right. I wouldn't know their names.
Right.
I just would know that they did crazy things. I mean, and it really is. And I'm glad to know that there's a shift in that, I mean, for the good, but also it still goes back to say, there still is this happening.
Right. That doesn't make it okay.
And it's still, like, gruesome and gory and horrible.
There are definitely documentaries that I can't stomach.
Oh, yeah.
I'll start them and I'm fascinated and it may lead me to go and do my own research.
Sure.
But some of them are, like, reimaginings or like they're doing reenactments or things like that. I'm trying to think of which one it was. In my most recent past, I think I tried to watch Dahmer. I think that was on Netflix or something. And that was not a documentary. It was actually, like, a portrayal. And I was so creeped out. Like, I could not keep watching. I was like, I can't.
Those are things of nightmares.
Right. I don't need that in my brain. I don't need that coming to find me. I can know the facts about what he did, but I don't know. Not doing that.
Yeah. I mean, it is fascinating, I think, because of, like, what's going on deep inside their brain. I think that's what my pull is. Like, what deep down is going on in the psyche.
Yeah. I think that this one, judging by the cover, that this is going to be more of a lighthearted. And
Oh, yes.
like, I think there's going to be some gruesome stuff in here.
Sure.
I didn't look up trigger warnings or anything, so
There might
I'm
be.
assuming that there's graphic violence that we're going to learn about how crappy their ex-husbands were. So maybe do your research before. Maybe I should have done the research for you.
But I mean,
Sorry.
at the same time, I like that it's the other perspective. So that's what I think I'm excited about. Like, the wives are actually solving, like, the cases.
This kind of makes me think of, there was a TV show recently where it was like a group of moms that started like laundering money. And it was just because they were not going to be suspected. Like they got involved with a gang member or something, and like they were able to get away with so much cash that they kept going and like made this huge operation.
Wow.
Because they were just your average moms at school pickup and like brought a casserole. Like that's what this is. That's the vibes this
That's
is
the
giving me.
vibe that they're giving off on the front
Yeah.
cover. So that's why I was interested. I was like, all right, let's check it out.
All right. Sounds fun.
All
Let's
right.
go start reading.
And get to ranting.
And remember, you're so approachable.
Okay, the episode is over. Get reading.
But before you go, like, review, and subscribe.
Turn on notifications to get the alert when the full episode drops.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see what we're reading next and join the conversation.
We're so excited to have you on board.